Have you heard of the Villages in Florida? Well, it's one of the most popular 55 and older communities in the entire country. And if you're researching retirement options, I'm sure you've come across it more than once. And a lot of people I speak with ask me the same question. Are the senior communities in Corona anything like the Villages in Florida? And the short answer is, they're not. But in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the differences between the Villages in Florida and our local 55 and older communities of Trilogy, Glen Ivy, and the community of Terramor. Hi, my name is Casey, and on this channel, I share information about the 55 and older communities here in Southern California. And I have to say that even though we're over 2,500 miles apart, there's one senior community that comes up over and over again, and that's the Villages. And a lot of seniors want to know if Trilogy, Glen Ivy, and Terramor are anything like the Villages. So let's take a look and let me show you. First, let's start with a quick overview of the Villages. And the first thing you need to know is this community is massive. Now we're talking about 70,000 homes, more than 150,000 people, and an area covering more than 20,000 acres in Central Florida. And it's often described as a city for retirees, and that's not an exaggeration. This community has just about everything, including shopping, restaurants, movie theaters, golf courses, and even their own newspaper and radio station. Plus, you'll find all of the typical amenities in a traditional senior community too. So when you combine all these things together, this community really is like its own city, and this makes it really convenient for the residents of the Villages. Plus, the Villages has over 2,500 different groups and clubs available for their residents, so they really do offer something for everybody. But the one thing the Villages is especially known for is its non-stop social life. And from what I understand, it can be loud, energetic, and definitely provide a party atmosphere. And I've heard it described by many people as kind of a spring break for seniors. Now, I have to admit, we've never been to the Villages before, but I have to say, I'd love to go check it out sometime. It really does sound like a very unique place. And for those seniors that have worked their entire lives, raised their families, and now finally have time for themselves, it's a chance to let their hair down and enjoy life. And this is probably why so many seniors are drawn to this community. But now let's take a look at Trilogy, Glen Ivy, and Terramor. And these are two of the most popular 55 and older communities here in Southern California. And both are located in Corona, California, which is about 45 miles southeast of downtown Los Angeles. But these two senior communities offer a very different lifestyle than the Villages. And the first thing you'll notice is that both communities are drastically smaller than the Villages. And let's start off with the community of Terramor. Now this community sits on 890 acres and is made up of approximately 1,400 homes. But of these 1,400 homes, only about 750 are in the senior section of Terramor. So remember, the Villages has over 70,000 homes and Terramor has just 750. And the Villages sits on over 20,000 acres and Terramor is only about 890. So this is a really huge difference. But seniors in Terramor have access to an absolutely beautiful clubhouse called the Terrace Club. Now this is a 20,000 square foot facility with really high-end finishes, and it's one of the main reasons why people end up choosing this community to call home. It has both an indoor and outdoor pool, a fitness center, a craft room, a multi-purpose room, tennis courts, pickleball courts, and even a bar. But since Terramor is still a relatively new community, they only have about 25 clubs and groups to choose from. And the community does host events, including live music, but not on the scale you'll find at the Villages. In fact, I would say Terramor has live music maybe 2 to 3 times a month, but it's definitely not something you'll have access to every day. So Terramor is a beautiful community and it offers great single-story homes, but it's much smaller and it definitely has a much lower pace than the Villages. And the community of Trilogy, Glen Ivy is very similar to Terramor. It's about the same size as Terramor and has about 1,300 homes. And Trilogy offers the same amenities as Terramor too, but the main difference is the age of the community. Trilogy has been around now for about 25 years, but it has an outstanding reputation, is beautifully maintained, and is very popular among seniors here in Southern California. And because Trilogy has been around for a longer period, they do have more groups and clubs for their residents. In fact, Trilogy has about 85 clubs and groups to choose from. And if you look at their calendar of events, they host a lot more events, activities, and live music than they do in Terramor. Plus, the community of Trilogy is built around an 18-hole, par 72 golf course called the Trilogy Golf Club. Now, this is a public golf course, but it does offer discounts and priority to residents of Trilogy. And this is a big draw for seniors looking for a community that has access to a golf course. But there's another really big difference between the Villages and our local senior communities. Now, Terramor and Trilogy don't have any restaurants, stores, or shopping actually within their community. So if you want to grab a bite to eat, pick up some groceries, or do any kind of shopping, you do need to head outside of the community. Now, luckily, you don't have to go far, but you do have to leave the community to find these things. But having access to these things within their own community is something the people of the Villages love about their community. So in my opinion, Terramor and Trilogy do offer plenty of things for seniors to do, and you still have plenty of opportunities to get involved, meet people, and to pursue your interest. But these communities are simply nowhere near the size or scale of the Villages, and they don't offer the same kind of social atmosphere either. So if you're looking for a place where you can have a packed social calendar and you enjoy a high energy environment with social gatherings every day, then the Villages checks all these boxes. And for those seniors looking to live here in Southern California and are looking for something a little bit quieter and a slower pace, then Trilogy and Terramor are a great option too. And as a real estate agent, I've had the opportunity to see most of the senior communities here in Southern California, and I haven't found any senior communities here that are anything at all like the Villages. So when people ask me, are Trilogy and Terramor like the Villages? I have to be honest and say no. They offer a completely different kind of experience. But if you're considering any senior community, I always recommend visiting in person and actually spend time there and get a feel for the community so you'll know if it's a good fit for you. And remember, I live here in Terramor and I specialize in helping seniors here in Southern California. So whether you're just starting to explore your options or you're ready to take your next step, feel free to reach out and text me anytime. And if you want to see what life is really like here in our local communities, my wife and I would love to show you around both Trilogy, Glen Ivy, or Terramor. Now thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.